All right, everyone. Got a head coach Ben Olsen here for you. Ben, back-to-back games, LAFC coming off a big 2-0 win on the road. How the team kind of prep for this one and the vibes around the training this week?
A little bit of a different rhythm from a preparation standpoint, just because we've just played our opponent, and again, so you have you go back through the film and you see what worked and what didn't work, and you anticipate adjustments from them, and you kind of give the players our thoughts on how to go about another tough exercise going against one of the best teams in the league. They're obviously down a few pieces that make them a little bit more unpredictable on how they're going to go about the game. So we anticipate that and try to figure out again how to go about being at our best at home. It's an important match for us. We want to get back to winning home games, and this is just a great opportunity for us.
All right, we'll start with Dustin. Go ahead.
Hey man.
Dustin, what's up, buddy?
Hey man. Tough news about Lawrence, obviously. But you have Brad who has kind of played that role previously this season. Are you confident Brad can kind of play that similar role as Lawrence, that off the bench left winger role, or how do you kind of see filling that spot?
Yeah, well, they're very different, as you know. Brad's pretty linear and he's left-footed, so his service is certainly one of his strengths, being left-footed on that side. So they're just different players. Uh, Thoughts are with Lawrence. It's brutal. He was a kid that came in the last four games and uh, just was electric. Was fun for the fans and a guy that we were really looking forward to working with. Uh, and he was a guy that's pushing. He was pushing guys in front of him to be a starter. But this is life. This happens. We'll support him as much as possible right now. It's surgery yesterday, went well, but it's just opportunity, right, for guys to step up. Whether it's Brad, whether it's Mackenzie Gaines, these players are high level players, and they've been waiting for their opportunity. Nobody wants to get their opportunity this way, but this is again pro soccer, and now it's the next guy's turn to step up and help the team. Brad's done that quite a bit during his time, and then Mackenzie has some of the similar attributes that Anali has. So now here's a guy that has some pace and can get behind, maybe on the dribble, without the ball. So we'll see. We'll see who steps up.
And news today, Kenny Bundy added to your staff with Aiden gone. I know, as an assistant coach, we saw Jaime Lozano out of practice this week. You going through what's going on with the coaching staff? Just going through some changes.
Well, Jaime Lozano has nothing to do with the coaching staff. Jaime came by for a visit with his staff while he has some downtime to continue to, kind of stay in the game and educate and see a different type of environment. And we had a great week. And as much as it's that way, we're also always trying to gain information and get better. And he's a neat guy, and has some great experiences to sponge off of, and hopefully they got something out of it. So that's completely separate to Kenny. Kenny and I's relationship has been very, very healthy, I think, right from the start. The Dynamo and Dynamo 2, that relationship is very, very strong. And it's been that way again from the get-go. And part of that is Kenny's adaptability and willing to work with us, understand the priority of this club is the first team. And it's a very, very difficult job that any D2 team has, because they're not the priority. It's a development league. It's not necessarily about winning, but it is always about winning because this is a job. And anyways, I've really grown to appreciate him, and I've really enjoyed working with him over a year and a half. This year, they've adapted some of the game model and with the D2 and incorporated that. So he's just a very logical choice for us. And so far he's been here, I think 10 days. We've announced it now, but he's been doing this for 10 days. It's been great. It's been seamless. Again, he understands what we're doing. He knows these players. He's been around the club. I think he's done everything in this club. So he's a real club guy, and I'm just happy for him because I know it's something he's been looking forward to being involved with the first team.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, Jorge, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
Jorge?
Coach, you talk about getting back home wins. You've got the next three at home, but obviously you got LAFC tomorrow. Like mentioned, they're not at 100%, but how do you prepare for that?
I said it before. I'm not sure. There's a bunch of different scenarios where we could see them playing, or both formations, and certainly in certain individuals. So we're not sure. But fortunately, we're far enough into the season where, for the most part, we understand who we are and what we look like against a 4 or a 5. What we look like with 2 forwards, what we look like in a 4-3-3. So we have enough, history of how we go about things here to hopefully quickly adjust, both before the game when we see the lineup and also during the game. And we've got some experienced players, and hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. But I don't care who they're missing. The lineups that we do throw darts at are still as good as any team in this league. And they've done a great job of being deep, in particular because they have so many games and they know they're missing international guys, but also that they're always going to be up there in competitions. Their ambitions are to win as many trophies as possible. So to do that, you need to build a very, very deep team. And they've done that. And that, again, we're going to expect a team that wants to respond from the loss, and one that's again, from a talent standpoint, as good as anybody in this league.
Ezekiel Ponce, 2 goals in 3 matches, one in the league. Just how quickly has he adjusted to the team and gotten comfortable with everyone?
It's been great. I mean, it's moving forward every day, every game. So that's what we look for. All the transitions of foreign players always happens at different rates. I think his has been very quick. I think he's a very intelligent player. I also think he's well traveled. So, when you've been to Russia, Spain, and all over the world, and you've had success at all these different places, and Greece, I think the transition from a family standpoint and you to a new team and a new environment, I think that gets a little easier, as opposed to someone that's been in one country their whole life and all of a sudden they're, moving the family, and it's a bigger deal. So he's a pro. He gets it. His defensive work, off the ball or without the ball, he really helps us. And it's nice to have him scoring goals and just continuing to build relationships out there.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Julie, go ahead.
Hey, Ben. Last time we asked about Exxon RZ, it sounded like the plan was for him to go back with the second team when he comes back from the injury. Does the Nally injury change that plan at all?
Not really. He's still pretty far away from having to make any decisions in that way. If for some reason he gets back quicker than expected, we'll always have chats about him and see where he's at. But it's doubtful. It's doubtful.
How do you see the coaching changes with the second team affecting them for the rest of the season?
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. They got a little playoff push here, and Jeremy's done, from what I hear, a very good job filling in. And it's important. It's important for the club to have good people everywhere, because a lot of times the answer is within. And so whether it's the academies, whether it's the under 14 coach or the 15 coach, it's important to get as many highly qualified, good people that have a growth mindset, that want to push and grow and are capable of moving up. So every hire matters, I think, throughout a club, and Pat and Asher do a very good job of identifying people. And Adine was an academy coach as well here, right? And Kenny and Dan spent some time here. So I think that's really healthy. I think it's moving people up that are worthy of it. I think is a good message to send here at the Houston Dynamo when coaches come here and they're the under 15 coach, that they see that there is a pathway to being on the first team. I mean, Kenny's coached the women team here, the academy, the second team. He's been an interim head coach. He's been an assistant coach for the full team. So he's done a little bit of everything. And I'm just happy for him to be in a place, and he understands us. He's helping us out a little bit with set pieces right now, defensive, and already we're seeing some fruit from that because we did a good job against LA.